Hey, what's up ladies and gentlemen? So today we are redoing this video of Moon in the sign of Gemini, Padha 3 in the Nakshatra Mrigasira. Again, I'm screwing it up because I'm so busy with the little monster that I had in my earlier video, but I have to reshoot it because I suddenly realized I kind of used a different sign for that. So today's video is on Moon in the sign of Gemini in the Mrigasira Nakshatra Padha 3. And what happens, when your Moon is in the sign of Taurus, I'm doing this. Moon is in the sign of Gemini, okay, which I've made a video on, so you can go watch that. And Moon is in the Nakshatra of Mrigasira, the section of Mrigasira. I made a video on that, Mrigasira Nakshatra. Yet Padha 3 of this Nakshatra, because Mrigasira Nakshatra spills from the Taurus sign to the Gemini sign. And the tail of Gemini or Taurus follows into this sign. And as always, if you do not know where your Moon is placed, what sign it's in, what Nakshatra it's in, what Padha it's in, for that check out the links here and check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, and Aspects of the Speed of Light, including my new magazine on destinies and career, and also the consultations are all on this link. So, sign of Gemini. What is the sign of Gemini? Sign of Gemini is all about communication and ideas. It's a sign that is directly linked to being an entrepreneur. Because being an entrepreneur requires you to have a lot of interest, requires you to have a lot of ideas about all the things. Because there's a saying about Gemini that they're jack of all trades and a master of none. Well, that's kind of not true, because Geminis are jack of all trades and a master of all trades, kind of like Robert Rodriguez or Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson and Robert Rodriguez, especially Robert Rodriguez, directs, writes, produces, edits, composes, color corrects, sound corrects the entire film. He even does the camera work. He's doing everything by himself, and his movies do well. He has this little cult following. That's why Gemini is a master of all trades and jack of all trades. Now, in Gemini, the beginning of Gemini, you have this Mrigasira Nakshatra where Padha 3 and Padha 4 fall. So this is why two Gemini Moon people may not think alike, because of the fact they're in a certain Nakshatra like Mrigasira, but two Mrigasira people don't think alike because the Padha behind the Nakshatra are different, doing different things. So here what this video is about the Padha 3 of this Nakshatra. Here what happens is the mind is curious. The mind wants to gather information. Mind wants to communicate. Mind is always interested in writing, especially depending upon what house it's in. You're going to write about those things. You're going to write about those, you're going to speak about those things. But what happens here, the creativity goes towards entrepreneurship, goes towards business, creating relationship. Relationships kind of enhances your ideas. Relationships gives you a lot of encouragement towards doing certain business, starting to your speaking ability, your communicative ability, your confidence towards your intelligence and creativity comes into play when you are in a relationship, when you're in a partnerships, when the relationships around you are well balanced, diplomatic, and liberal. And these are the people who do very well when they're in a partnerships in a business. And one thing is for sure, especially if this Moon is becoming part of something called the Kemdrum Dosh or Kemdrum Yoga, as I call it, these people do great. They should only do business. They're meant to do business, because here Mercury wants to deal with contracts, wants to deal with negotiations. Early on in life, you were curious about sports, curious about art and communication and all sorts of things. When you grow, you want to use that communication for selling things. You use that communication to do business, to do marketing, to do public speaking. You want to deal with the masses with this kind of a Moon. And that's where this Padha differentiates from all the other Padhas. Because Padha 3 is about taking care of business. through your communicative skills. Now, here's the thing that happens. Like if, let's say, moon is receiving negative aspects, what happens is their relationship aspect gets disturbed. And when the relationship aspect gets disturbed, they feel like all the ideas are just like now sleeping. So it's very important for them to realize that no matter relationships work or not, Gemini will always give you ideas. Yet the problem is, if you do not realize, the flaw of what this Padha is doing, you will not be able to tap into the solution. And that's the thing. They do very well with ideas. They do very well with especially art, business of culture, business of art galleries and all sorts of different social media and all kinds of business. Yet even if the relationship doesn't work out, you got to remember, you got to tap into your source of energy, which is Gemini. But remember, anytime anything goes wrong, which starts from our mind, we always go to the Padha. We always look to the Padha to give us a problem and a solution. The problem is always in the Padha. The solution is always in the Padha. If once I do all the series, you can look at your family members, you can look at your own self. Like whenever you've had problems, I can't do this, how do I do this? Why is it happening? Look at the Padha of the moon. And see if that's the problem that is keeping your mind at unrest. And other planets disturb that foundation. And once you realize it, you'll be like, okay, I will not let this disturb me. And then suddenly you start to get stronger. Your mind start to get stronger. Because remember, moon is only an influence of other planets and other aspects of astrology. So your soul needs to become the part that influences your mind. This is why body, mind, and soul is this trifecta that Deepak Chopra has talked about. The trifecta factor, actually I received Joni Patri's book yesterday on astrology. She talked about this. This factor always influences each other. So if one is not balanced, the other one will come and help. So once you realize, okay, if you don't get along in the relationships and your ideas just suddenly fail, well, realize that. Your soul wants you to realize that so you can become stronger. And really bad relationship, good relationship, it won't affect all these things. Okay? So guys, this is my analysis of moon in the sign of Gemini in Mrigasira Nakshatra, Padha 3. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And again, if you want to know where your moon is placed, what sign it's in, what nakshatra it's in, what Padha it's in, for that check out the links here and check out all the books and reports and consultations on this link. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow with Padha 4. Bye-bye.